Hey everyone, so after playing Currency Wars for 2 weeks, I finally reached the max rank. I wanted to give my thoughts on the game mode and why I think Currency Wars is the best game mode Honkai Star Rail has released. First, we'll start off with the characters, since I think this is the biggest reason why I enjoyed the game mode so much. I know people love to main characters and stick to them since they only have so many pulls, but even if you love a character and love maining them, you can't deny that Hoya releases some fun and interesting characters to play with that you just can't get access to without spending hundreds of dollars. Currency Wars solves that problem and gives you full access to pretty much the entire roster of characters HSR has released since 1.0, which is insane. Plus, some characters have some new animations, which totally wasn't necessary for them to do, by the way. And I don't know about you, but I love playing different teams, and this game mode 100% scratches my itch to play different teams that I would never pull for but still want to try out. And even if you were playing the same team, there are still plenty of things to make that same team you were using feel completely different. Want to try out Aglaya? Go for it. Want to try out Silam? Sure, go ahead. Because that's the other thing. For the most part, unless you're doing higher difficulties, most teams just work. And they work because of how well the items help the characters, which leads me into my next section, the items. Items in Currency Wars are great, and they nailed it out of the park with the variety of effects they give your characters. Basically, you get item parts, and each combination of item parts creates a different item to equip to your character. Some items seem weak or not that good on a character, but since they can carry 3 items on a single character, it can create a build that makes weaker items better when paired synergistically. Now imagine that, but for multiple characters in your party. It's practically begging the player base to create wacky builds and out-of-the-box strategies to clear the content. I'm sure you've seen the memes of Wheelchair Aglaya and Durian Finon as an example of this. I think this stuff is fun. Yeah, I said it, fun. Imagine having fun in a gacha game? Crazy, right? The next thing I want to talk about is bonds, and this really changes how you pick your characters in Currency Wars. Each character has multiple categories they fit in, and when you pair them up in your team, they create a bond. Depending on the number of characters in the same bond, they will cause different effects, but usually they make that bond effect stronger. This creates team synergy by simply having multiple characters of the same bond. But since characters fit into multiple categories, you can see how team building can get a bit interesting. There also isn't a limit to how many bonds are in your team, the only restriction is the number of characters you can place. Bonds make each playthrough feel unique, and I love that. Don't feel like going Super Break? Try the Balabog team or the Blood Flame team. Each feel different in their playstyle while elevating their already established playstyle or creating a new type of playstyle that isn't in the normal game. For example, the Balabog team wants Balabog characters to act to use the Belabot in order to deal massive damage. Now, it isn't all perfect, obviously. The impact of bonds, characters, and items are much more interesting and visually exciting than the cards. I mean, having a giant robot punch the enemies is way more interesting than getting a basic weapons box or like 15% damage mitigation and amplification. The other thing I hope they tweak a bit is something I mentioned before, how most teams can perform great outside of higher difficulties. Yeah, at higher difficulties, it becomes really hard not to use stronger teams like Finon or Aglaya because the enemies deal so much damage, have so much HP that runs take like 40 minutes to complete in a single run. Are you really going to take the chance of losing just because you want to run a weaker team that you prefer when you know that the stronger team will have a much higher success rate of getting you that clear? I only hope that they balance it a little bit better so that weaker teams can perform at higher difficulties. Again, this only matters for higher difficulties where enemies are ridiculously tuned. Overall though, Currency Wars is an amazing game mode and definitely my favorite game mode in Honkai Star Rail. It's easy to see why I and many other people love this game mode. If you take a step back, you can see that every aspect of this mode just oozes variety and player choice. I can only hope that Hoya notices what makes this game mode so great, and I pray that they continue to update Currency Wars in the future, but not only that, I hope they continue to make interesting game modes that prioritize variety and player choice. Anyways, thanks for hearing me yab about Currency Wars. I had a lot of fun playing it on stream with you guys, and if you want to catch one of my streams or know when I upload it, come join the Discord. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!